Welcome to beautiful downtown Talkeetna. There it is.
I think we're going through this town off the back.
This is a three German bachelor's cabin built in 1934 by Frank Monekes and brothers Tony Henry Mice, miners in the Cache District area northwest of Talkeetna. Note the common latch corners. This is the Tom Weatherall house. Looks like it's undergoing some renovations. Built for Tom Weatherall in 1940 by Helmer Roning, this three-sided log home has half dovetail notch corners, or covered by corner boards. It was originally painted canary yellow, and the hip roof is unusual. Weatherall worked at Nagley's general store for several years. Across the street are some cabins, old, new, that are used as tourist souvenir traps for the most part. This is the roadhouse, originally Frank Lee Cabin and Barn. Between 1914 and 1917, this two-story log structure was built by Frank Lee, who freighted supplies to area miners by horse-drawing wagons. The long walls were held together using 2-foot spruce pegs. The barn's logs are among the largest used during this era. Since the building became a roadhouse in 1944, its owners have rented rooms, served down-home food, and provided hospitality. On this side of the street, this is the Mountain High Pizza Pie Company. The owner I talked to last night was actually his family's from the Naples area, and he brought his recipe for pizza from that area, and the pizza's actually pretty good. It's some of the best pizza I've had, not just here in Alaska, but anywhere in the lower 48. This is the Helmer Roaming House. Ronning house, 1930 cabin built in Norwegian style by master carpenter Helmer Ronning, is unique to the area. The logs are hand hewn their entire length. And it's not a big shot. This is the House of Seven Trees, hostels, rooms and bunks. Need a place to sleep, which might work. The roadhouse also offers lodging. Art gallery. This is the Denali Overland Transportation Company cab. Transportation is pretty lousy in this town, so I figure I'm walking pretty much everywhere unless you can catch the Talkeetna Lodge shuttle. This is the Wildflower Cafe. Modern structure. Expensive food. And then this is the Old Doll Cabin, number 2. Old Doll, a miner and barber, lived here, and his wife Annie and their 5 children. Old timers recall sitting in the barber chair for 50 cents a haircut, watching the comings and goings. The Fairview Inn, built in the 1930s with logs hewn on 3 sides and common lap notch corners. Denali Brewing Company.
Nick, do you want to wait for him?
Their tasting room. And their restaurant. This is the historic Fairview Inn. Built in 1923 by Ben Norman. It's the home of Talkeetna's first bathtub. After 8 decades, it continues to be a gathering place for locals and visitors. The mural behind the bar was painted in 1952 by local artist Kurt Wagner. In 2003, a ruling passed stating that no structure in the historic district can be taller than 28.5 feet than the 28.5 foot Fairview Inn. So, tallest building in town.
So that's what that, they kind of basically get rid of them coming down for the most part. But, no, apparently not, because that's what they were back to the bottom. And then he goes down the back to the top, I don't know how he was on the back to the rest of that. And everybody was talking about this, how Johnson was off, and he had a from the and he pulled off his dad was fine, and hold on, usually don't.
Ran out of battery.
Yeah, and then,
You pull it off on the phone?
he never, no, Mike showed up. And he pulled it off face to face.
No. Did he really, or did you just let him?
That's what everybody said. I don't know. And then,
Doesn't get rained in at all.
all the time, when they come from work, every kid that people down all the time, ragging on everybody, and then all that is for
There's a bookshop and coffee shop back behind the Fairview Inn. It's very expensive coffee and I don't know about the books. This is the park here in the center of town. Not big, functional. And this is Negley's store. So between 1917 and 21, using some logs from the original structure. Operated by Horace Nagley and Sestina Station. Nagley disassembled the built a store near the river in Talkeetna in 1915. In 1945, the move began, staying open during the 3-day move up Main Street on log rollers to its present location. There's the Nagley store where you can buy very expensive food, like $6 loaf of bread, and be traded like dirt by the locals. And then they've got a liquor store there, and then that's the small visitors. This is the Talkeetna Spur, which comes from the Alaska Highway. It's 14 miles. And there's a few shops, and restaurants, and hotels down this way. But past that, not much. Town ice cream truck. Used. Now, this is the back of Negley's and the West Rib Pub and Cafe. And then down this way is the theater where they do the play. And they have a farmer's market over here on the left. On Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The play is How to Make Love to an Alaskan, which is supposed to be pretty funny, but didn't get a chance to do that. And then this is the Talkeetna Historical Society. $3 to enter, and you get 3 buildings full of some old stuff and about mining, climbing Denali, so forth. That's the old town landing strip. Looks like it might still be used. This is the Old Doll Trapper's Cabin display. The first settlers, Old Doll, native of Norway, arrived in Alaska in the early 1900s. As news spread of the government-built railroad, many people, including Doll, sought work in the project. Based out of Talkeetna, the headquarters for area railroad building, Doll surveyed the right-of-way for the rail bed between Anchorage and Denali National Park. After construction of the railroad, Doll settled in Talkeetna and became a well-known miner throughout the area. He married a local Denali Athabascan native, and they together built a home and raised a family. Their descendants still live in this area. Old Doll built this structure in 1916. It's typical construction of a trapper's cabin with saddle notched corners and gabled roof. The interior surfaces of log walls are even flat. Cabin furnishings are also typical of a miner or a trapper. In the upper Sustina basin with a blazing wood stove and a mug of coffee, trapper could pass a comfortable evening after a hard winter's day on the trap line. Notice the burlap and wool batting used in chinking material between the logs. Any material, floor sacks, warm clothing, or sphagnum moss would be used to keep the cold out. It was a long way for supplies. Everything that could be put to use was. There's old doll. And then there's some miners in the mining district. Don't know what we can see here because of the glass. There's a wash basin and a stove, table, a couple lights, place to sleep.